Here, through this documentary, let me introduce you to one of the largest revolutions in agriculture. Agriculture today has gone far beyond the age-old traditional methods. The advent of science has transformed every section of agriculture. Coconut farming too has given rise to a great revolution through the hybridization of coconut palms. Here, let's get to know the different steps involved in the hybridization process of coconut palms. Collection of pollens. The male flowers collected from the male parental palms are processed for pollen collection. The male flowers on the middle portion of the spikelets produce more fertile pollen compared to those on the upper and lower portion of the spikelet. Male flowers should be collected from the male parental palms before opening of individual male flowers, which is usually done 2 to 4 days after the opening of the inflorescences. Maturity of the male flower is indicated by the bluish green tinge at the tip. These mature male flowers are placed in between 2 sheets of newspaper and slightly crushed using a wooden rolling pin to separate the perianth parts. The crushed male flowers are dried in an incubator maintained at 40 degrees Celsius for a period of 24 hours. In case if incubator is not available, it can also be shade dried for 2 days. On completion of drying, the pollen is collected by sieving the dried male flowers using a sieve with mesh size of 0.2 mm. Pollen is preserved in desiccator to maintain its viability. Emasculation and bagging. Emasculation is a process of removal of male flowers from the female parental palm. Emasculation is usually done by cutting the spikelets 5 cm above the female flowers using knife. The male flowers seen in between or near the female flowers should be removed by hand. Dwarf parental palms have to be emasculated within 3 to 5 days of opening the inflorescence. Bagging is done to prevent pollination in emasculated inflorescence by natural means and is done a few days before the female flowers become receptive. Bagging is done 3 to 4 days before the initiation of female phase in an inflorescence. Method of artificial pollination. The pollen grains are usually mixed with a suitable diluent like purified talc in 1:9 ratio and filled in the applicator. 20 grams of pollen is sufficient for pollinating 45 to 50 bunches. Piscate flowers become receptive during early morning hours, which shows a reflexed moist stigmatic surface, and the nectar is secreted at the base of the stigma and pericarp. A small hole has to be made on the plastic sheet and the tube of the pollen applicator is inserted through this hole. The rubber bulb attached with the applicator should be pressed afterwards to spray the pollen chalk mixture inside the pollination bag. This pollen application process should be carefully done to ensure that pollen chalk mixture cloud covers the receptive male flowers. All the female flowers do not attain receptivity on the same day, so the above process should be repeated till all the female flowers in an inflorescence become receptive. After spraying the pollen chalk mixture, the hole is closed using an adhesive tape. The pollen from the same parent should be used for individual inflorescence. The most ideal time for carrying out artificial pollination is during the morning hours, that is 7 am to 11 am, since maximum stigmatic exudation occurs during that time. On completion of the fertilization process, the stigma turns brown and the secretion of nectar stops. After 3 to 5 days, when all the buttons in an inflorescence attain this stage, the pollination bag should be removed and the bunch should be labeled. Mature nuts can be harvested 11 months after pollination in dwarf palms and 12 months pollination from tall parental palms. Benefits of hybridization: gives good yield in 3 years, gives 3 times yield than the parent tree or the tall variety, gives yield when the stem is only 1 to 2 feet high. Coconuts can be used both as tender coconut and also for extracting oil. Minimum space required. Coconuts can be plucked easily by the farmer as they are dwarf trees. Thank you.